do this. Again, there will clearly be 365 videos in this section if I successfully do the entire year's worth of quotes. I think that's the biggest section yet. A tiger does not proclaim his tigertude. He pounces. In other words, a tiger does not stand in the forest and say, I am a tiger. I made a video in January, I think it was January 30th, where I had some lovely lipstick on my teeth that I didn't notice and I left it anyway. So if you haven't seen that, you can check that out. That had to do with the tiger and the sheep quote. And there's various sayings about being a lion or gazelle. And that quote used a tiger and a sheep. But it's basically that some of us wake up going after something and some of us wake up running away from something. It's the difference between being proactive and reactive in life, guiding your own life or reacting to life, living in fear versus living in action. And so when it talks about being a tiger, it's referring to that same sort of personality type that a tiger represents. Someone who is strong, resilient, capable, able, powerful. You may not know it by their accomplishment list, but the fires they have walked through in life and have come out standing on the other side with poise and grace and a great attitude. Successful. Survivors, not thrivers. Which you may very well be. You may be a tiger in the sense of really having achieved self-actualization, which is at the top of that Maslow's pyramid of hierarchy of needs, where you really have to have a lot of other things in place in order to reach that portion of your life. Well, you're trying to get the other portions of your life in order. The mere fact of your capacity to face and endure and tackle and deal and cope and navigate your personal circumstances and obstacles throughout your life. Some people have gone through things that you can't even imagine. You would look at them, their character, how they come across to the world, the kind of person that they are, and how they show up in life, and you would not have a clue the things that they have gone through or go through, because they have mastered themselves. They are like a phoenix from the ashes. They are profound and people that leave us in awe. They are skilled and effective and incredible people. You don't have to reach some societal pinnacle when you've overcome incredible odds to have reached an incredible pinnacle if you are an incredible person. If someone could look at you and not have a clue what you've gone through, what you've overcome, just based on how you show up in the world, you're a tiger already. A tiger does not proclaim his tigertude, he pounces. In other words, a tiger does not stand in the forest and say, I am a tiger. Humility. Humility is a great quality to have. I talk a lot on this channel about confidence, loving yourself, embracing yourself, valuing yourself, self-worth, caring for yourself, because we can only speak about what we know about, and I come from a long history of self-negating, self-deprecating, low self-esteem, lack of self-worth, not loving or caring for myself, devaluing myself, not holding up boundaries to protect myself appropriately, just mistreating myself. And I can appreciate and understand and empathize and know what that's like to come from that position and how unhealthy and detrimental it is to your overall quality of life, happiness, and achieving any of the things that you want. To live in that state and be in that state, and why work so hard and advocating to try and get people out of that state to a place where they love and accept themselves and have self-esteem and self-worth. Because you don't fight for what you don't care about. You have to love yourself enough to care about your body, care about your life, care about your relationships, care about your safety, in order to improve anything. But there is another end of the spectrum. It's not my spectrum. Just because it's not my spectrum doesn't mean it's not there and doesn't need to be addressed, and doesn't mean it doesn't fumble and foible us. And it also doesn't mean the person has high self-esteem who's doing it. And that's the person who is pompous, arrogant, pounds their chest, and announces proudly to the world and anyone that will listen, any chance they get a chance to listen, that they have achieved this, that, or the other. They are super intelligent. They are super fantastic. They know everything about X, Y, or Z. They always want to one-up the next person. They always have to be the shiniest object in the room. They declare themselves to be that person I described that is at a pinnacle, either a literal pinnacle or based on what they overcome and who they are as a human, someone that leaves you in awe. You wouldn't know unless they told you their story, and when you tell you their story and you see how they composed and together they are, you're in awe. Some people shouted at the top of the hills, I am successful. I am intelligent. I am strong. I am resilient. I have this degree or that degree, or I know about whatever. And in this quote, it's describing being all tell and no show. You don't have to worry about trying to prove yourself to anyone but yourself. In the end, you're the one that has to look yourself in the mirror at the end of the night and fall asleep in bed to your own thoughts and feelings. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. The people who are truly effective, solid in recovery programs, solid in their mental health, solid in their healing after trauma, solid in their life, solid in their contentment, peace, and serenity. The thrivers, not survivors, and those that have achieved much in a literal, practical sense. They don't need to tell you who they are. Simply being who they are speaks volumes that their mouth never has to say. They just do the things. In the literal, practical sense, the achievements and successes and goals, big or small, that move them, inspire them, improve their life, excite them. And they do these things because of an inner drive to do these things, not to prove something about themselves. They just do these things. And then other people are thrivers in the face of incredible adversity with poise and grace and resilience, and their character is incredible, and they light up a room when they show up. And all they have to do is be there and be who they are. They're doing it. They're being it. Their action. Their pouncing says it. A little dip into the Bible. Judge a tree not by the fruit that it Judge a tree by the fruit that it bears, not the fruit that it talks about bearing. Actions speak louder than words. Character speaks very loud. You are what you do. You are what you're about. You are your character. You are how you show up in the world. And if you are truly a tiger, an achiever, an overcomer, a thriver, not a survivor, someone people look at with awe. And if you want to heal so greatly and improve so greatly, you get there someday. You can do that. But you don't need to shout it to the hills. The changes in you. In your character, your attitudes, your behaviors, your actions will speak for themselves. Oftentimes the people that shout it the loudest are doing so to cover up insecurities. Those that are tigers, needn't say a word. People just know because of who they are, what they're about, their conduct and their character proclaims it for them more than words ever could. Keep a level of humility about you. You have nothing to prove to anyone but yourself. Just do the best you can to be the best you can be. Whatever that is. It's different for all of us. And who you become will speak for itself. Love you guys. Good morning. Goodbye. A tiger does not proclaim his tigertude. It's not a real word. He pounces. In other words, a tiger does not stand in the forest and say, "I'm a tiger." He just does tiger stuff. Just do tiger stuff. Love you guys. Good morning. Goodbye.